This couldn't come at a better time. It's been a rough day, but that's all right. We're going to get into everything. Today, as the video is brought to you by Shady Mile, and we've got Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. We have a wheat version and a rye version, and we're going to test them out here for you. I'll let you know what I think, and I'll leave a link in the video description below for these guys, and they ship it to you, I guess. So I'm not a huge, like, I don't know, connoisseur or knowledgeable person, but I know if something's bad. That I know. So I'll let you know. First off, it smells like whiskey, that's for sure. How do you get this off? I can't get it off. Come on, baby. Whew. This showed up in the mail today. You have to have a signature for it. All right, so. Oh, hey. Hey now. All right, so just a little taste test for you. And we'll let you know what I think. Shady Mile. We got the, what did I say? The wheat and the rye. Wheat and the rye. I don't know. What do you guys like? I don't know. There you go. Today's sponsor of today's video. Wheat version. That's smooth. I like that. I like that. It's really, really tasty. I'm tasting like, that's delicious. Okay. All right. Like, I know I've had some bad stuff, and that is not bad. I'm trying to get the wheat. I'm going to give you the flavors here, what they say with the, yeah, it's got a nice, like, yeah, chocolatey kind of flavor, and like spicy brown spices, and so yeah, so that's really good. All right, now this is the rye, and I'll let you know what I think about that too. I'll tell you which one I like better. Ooh, it tastes more like high school there. Ooh, that's good. All right, that's a more caramely flavor, I would say. Okay, so that's pretty good. Man, all right, they're both delicious, very smooth tasting. Anyways, all right, we need it after today. All right, today was an interesting day. It was our first PGA Tour Champions Qualifier, and we were doing the Mitsubishi Electric Classic Pre-Qualifier. All right, so in order to get into the Mitsubishi Electric Championship, played, I believe, at Sugarloaf here in Atlanta, there's a pre-qualifier, and there's a pre-qualifier and then a qualifier, and I've been, working on my game, been playing a lot, been trying to get in shape enough to where I have a chance. Like, I don't want to go in if I'm like, I can't do it. It's going to be lightning in a bottle. Like, that's not my mentality. I need to go in thinking, I can do it. And I went in today thinking just that. Now, we're playing at Hamilton Mill Golf Course out in, gosh, I don't even know where it is. It's like an hour east of Atlanta, where I live. It's like an hour east, whatever. It's out there. And so today was the day. I went out there and pre-qualifier. And here's what's cool. I'm going to tell you what happened here quickly. I've been reading this book called Inner Excellence, all right, by Jim Murphy. And I met Jim, the author of this book, out at one of the live events. He's a mental coach, and he wrote this book, and he was coaching one of the players, and I was playing a pro-am, and I was playing with that guy, and I met Jim there, and we started talking, and in just like one hole of talking to him, my whole mental perspective shifted, and I was so much more confident and comfortable than I had ever been, like, before. Now, here I am in a pro-am playing with professional players, and you get a little nervous. You feel like out of your league. And for the last once we started talking, I think we had like 4 holes left to go or something. I really felt like I was supposed to be, like I was in the tournament. Like I felt like I was on the tour, and I played like it, like for a few holes, the last few holes. And it was a great kind of boost to my confidence. Then he sent me his book, and I started reading the book, and I was like, man, this thing is spectacular. And there's a lot of things in there that I was doing. We all do, right? I'll battle with just, do I belong? Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as these people. I don't belong here. Like, who am I to think I could show up to, like, we all battle. We have these inner demons that we wrestle with. And so mentally, I was like, okay, I'm going to dive into this. And then my buddy was sending me videos from this other dude, popular guy on YouTube and stuff. And it's, his name's Peter something or other, Peter Crone. And he was really good too. I watched a couple of his videos. It's very, very similar to Jim's book. And I mean, this gets deep, deep into it. So a lot of those things I was wrestling with and battling. And a couple things I wanted to really focus on in my mind was that I belonged. Like, I'm there. Like, I'm just as good as anybody else. I belong there. I've like been there a million times before. Like, I'm really trying to transplant myself into the belief that, look, I'm a good player, and I am a good player. Like, I'm good. Like, when I was out playing the last number of weeks, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm good. I can hit the ball. Like, I'm driving it where I want to drive it. I'm hitting the shots I want to hit. I'm making like, I'm really just comfortable and confident that I can do what I need to do. And so I was in the right, like, mental space there. Now, there's certain mental things that you're going to face that are going to be exposed. So that's what happened today. Did I qualify? No, I did not qualify to the next level. So the top 5 make it to the qualifier. I didn't make. I wasn't one of the top 5. But at the end of the round, I'm thinking I could be one of the top. Like, looking at this, but I know a lot of people say that, right? It's not my skill. It's not my swing. It's not my shots. It's my mind. My mind was in situations that it hasn't been in a long, long time. And so when I lost my my marbles out there for a few holes, that's what my mind, it's not failure, right? It's feedback. Like, I need some work in certain areas of my mind, and so do we all. If we want to achieve another level, we have to go there, put ourselves in that situation, and then gather and learn from it so that we can say, okay, now I know I got some feedback and I know what to work on. So here's what I learned in my round is, one, was I nervous going into like the tournament? Yeah, a little nervous, but surprisingly not that nervous. And here's why I wasn't that nervous. One is, I was like thinking to myself, I played with Harold Varner and Hudson Swafford and Taylor Gooch, you know, and these guys on the Live Tour in those pro-ams. I've played with a lot of those guys. I've played with like princes. And I've played with like these high level people. I'm like, you know what? I've been nervous out there. And so I just constantly reassured myself that just because you're nervous, don't let that affect you, because I've been way more nervous. So I was surprisingly a lot less nervous and more comfortable even going on that first tee box. Felt great, ripped it right down the middle. First hole, and had like, 40-footer for birdie, 2-putted for par, and we were off to a good start, good solid par on the first hole. But here's where my mind started messing with me, is like, in order to qualify, I know I need to go like 2 or 3 under. 2 under, 1, 2, 3. Like, I need to be under par, which is not, I can do that. I've been doing that. It's not a problem. But so what I did was every step closer to that, I got like, it was like a volcano, you know, rising and rising in terms of the pressure or nerves that I was putting on myself. And so I got, first hole, great. Second hole, perfect drive, a little pitch shot to the green. I have 3 feet for birdie. And the hole, we were playing these Bermuda greens, and there was an old hole cut not right in front of me. Like, it would be great if the hole was like right here and I had to go right over the center of it. That's not, it was cut a little off to the side. So my ball, it was like this far from it too, like really close from where I had to start it. And it was only like a 3-foot putt. So I'm like right here, and my ball has to roll over the curve part of the edge. Like, and it's deep, and I'm trying to fix it. And I couldn't really fix it very well with the Bermuda. And man, I'm like, I got to go right. Like, I couldn't go around it. I had to go right over it. That was a line. I didn't know what to do. So I just said, well, I'm just going to putt it. Puts it, it wiggles on that and misses. So I was a little disappointed right there. I was like, oh, you serious? Like that, like any other game with your buddies, you just slide it over to one side or the other, but tournament. So I'm thinking, okay, walking off, no big deal. It's all good. You're fine. And these little things are going to happen from time to time. So I'm not going to worry about it. Moving on, par 5, parred it, whatever, par 3, great, decent shot on the green. And then I 3-putted. I missed a little short one, and then boom. So that's where I let that pressure build up and mount. And then I hit the worst drive like of my life. And luckily I found it. Still had like a decent shot in, but then chunked it, or didn't chunk it, hit fat, bogey. Then I bogeyed another hole. The next hole made like a 10-footer for bogey. So now I'm mentally, I'm a disaster. I'm just struggling. Like I'm mad. And then we get to this par 5. I hit a good drive in the wrong spot. And then next shot goes out of bounds. Like ricochets off a cart path. I'm just trying to lay it up, and I, sent it a little too far out of bounds. Triple bogey. Now I was 3 over. Now I'm 6 over. That was quick. Like that. Boom. Heartbeat. You're like, I'm not big for dropping expletives out there, but man, I'm telling you, they were flying left and right. I was not proud. It was not my finest, few holes stretch. So I'm just, and then you're like, dude, so then I'm just trying to be like, okay, now you really don't care. You're 6 over. You ain't gonna make it. Like, you need 6 birdies just to break even right now. So good luck. And then, parred the rest of that 9. And I don't know how, even though mentally, I guess you just give up, right? And you don't give up, but you let it all out. And that's what I did, right? I just let it all out. And, then we get to 10 and par 5, and I'm like, okay, here's a chance. We can get a birdie and a double bogey for me. So, but it was one bad shot, and then I just chip it out. You short par 5, chip it out from the hazard, and hits the fairway, rolls down into the hazard again. And now I go from there to the water and draw double bogey. So I'm like, so that was my fault. And then, that was the 10th hole. And again, just letting things fly out of my mouth that shouldn't fly out of my mouth. So I'm losing. There's a battle there. Is like, do you let it out? Or do you keep it bottled in? Like, how do you separate the two? And you need to let it out in a way that works for you, but not let it affect your next shot. And so I felt like obviously I didn't do a very good job of that for those, 4 holes plus that one. So that's 5 holes that just took me out of the whole dang tournament. And from that point forward, I was just like, forget it. Like, who cares? I'm just going to hit my shots. And from there, I went 1 under par the rest of the way. So, you're like 6, 8 over, 7 over, 79. And that kind of put me like in the middle of the field for like the 80-person qualifying, like 36th place. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to make it. Like, 1 under made it. So I was like, man, like, we can all look at our rounds and say, if we take these shots out, I'm in, right? We can all do that, right? And so I don't want to say that is what I've learned here. What I'm trying to help all of us with is we have to put ourselves in situations that challenges our mind. Because ultimately, this is what's going to affect what we do. And that's why I'm doing this. Because I want to help everybody get better. And so much of improvement is the mental game. So that's where I feel like getting in there, giving it I got the game. I know I got the game. And I know I got the shots. And what's cool is like I'm hitting it farther than the guys in my group. So I'm hitting it far, like I can hit it out there. I'm on in 2 on one of the a 600-yard par 5. I'm on in 2, 601. A driver 3-wood. I'm on in 2. I 3-putted it, but at least I was on in 2. So that was on the back. Like I can hit some shots when I need to hit some shots. And I can get up and down. I was in a bunker and, you know, in my short games, pretty tight. And I made a few putts. Sadly, they were for par. One was for birdie. I had 1 birdie. So we have to learn how to deal with this because that's going to affect so much of our lives. And there's so many ways to do it. Read a good book, work on, you know, your mental. So getting myself in this situation, putting myself out there, it was about this. What is going on up here? And I learned that, hey, you can't, how do you not let it boil up? Pressure. So I need to figure out, I need to detach from the outcome. Easier said than done. I definitely need to detach from the outcome. And so the more I can put myself in these situations, the easier that will be because you're just going to have more practice at it. So you got to practice detaching from the outcome. So that's my practice now. No matter what shot I hit, I'm going to just be detached. Like, it doesn't matter. This shot doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter you missed a short putt. Nothing matters. Those are easier said than done, I know. But obviously, I need to work on it because you don't want to get in a position where you're out of it and then you play great. So you got to be in a position where, dude, I'm in it the whole time and I'm not quitting. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm detached. So that's the next phase. That's our next step. So hope you had a good time experiencing my round with me. Not my best, but you know what? It really, if I take no learning away from it, it does nobody any good. Me, you, nobody. Because what I'm going to do is take what I learn and then apply it to future videos to say, okay, here's how we can adapt and overcome these areas that are plaguing us. Stuff I'm learning here, stuff I'm learning out there in reality land. So I'm happy to get out there and mix it up. Got more coming at you, more qualifiers, more stuff. We're not quitting. We're only getting started. Thanks for watching. Shady Mile. Give him a check out. See you guys soon.